Previously on Gears.
And this coming weekend, we've got some great racing action that is taking place in the Gauteng area. Of course, it is the Super Series taking place at Swartkorps Raceway.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It is the brilliant commentator and trackman and knows everybody in the world of motorsport, the one and only Greg Maloney. How's it, Greg?
Sash, how are you guys? All good, Dan? All good my side.
Oh, that's terrific, man. We are all good. We're all getting excited for some great racing action this weekend at Swartkorps.
Yes, indeed. It's fourth round of Super Series and heading back up onto the high. Looking very much forward to what's going to be happening out there on the black stuff, because championships are really not even close to being decided right now. But the action we've seen so far this year, Sash, as you would have seen, has just been mind-blowing.
There has been, I must say, in most of the categories, Greg, it seems as though that everyone seems to have sort of raised their game a little.
No, they have. They certainly have. I mean, even if you just look at the way that the guys have gone and set their pits up, they're starting to really put an effort in, and I think it's becoming a show that's, world class. Not only the stuff that happens on the track, but, just for the general public to come and see and meet the drivers and walk into a professionally laid out pit. I mean, things are really stepping up. And these guys, and girls, of course, are all looking forward to showing, the general public up here exactly what they've got and the kind of racing that's been around the country so far.
I must say, it is so good and heartening to hear that kind of stuff. The great thing, Greg, about Swartkorps as well is the accessibility for the general public to actually get close to the drivers and the teams, and to actually, first of all, meet them, and then also just see the vehicles that they're racing and bikes.
Yeah, 100%. It's probably the most accessible track, probably other than East London. There's no restrictions to anybody anywhere around the circuit. You can basically go and sit anywhere you want to. There are a few VIP areas sort of scattered around the track, but on the whole, if you're there and you've come to watch the racing, you can actually watch it from any aspect of that circuit. And as you said, coming into the pits is something that everybody wants to do. And of course, this weekend they've got an opportunity to meet all the top riders and drivers in the country, including an opportunity to actually walk on the grid with the new SA Sports and GT category, which is, of course, the old V8s and Shelby Can-Ams. So those guys will be on the grid, handing out posters, signing, taking photos, you name it. They'll be doing all of that in a grid walk at about lunchtime, which will be amazing.
Oh, well,
and while that's happening, of course, there's track action as well, with the little NSF 100s going out and showing what the development of South African motorsport is all about. There's some young karters putting on display. You'll get a couple of drivers out on those mini mokes that Swartkorps owns. So, I mean, there's plenty. Not only is there race action, but there's family fun as well.
Well, I think this is so important. I mean, we really need to have... Swartkorps usually does have a really good crowd, but for those who maybe are new to motorsport or haven't really been out, go and spend a day at Swartkorps. And as you say, Greg, so much besides just the action taking place on the track, so much for people to get involved with, and something really, really important for our local motor racing.
You know what, I think that the way that they've gone about it, I mean, you've been involved in a couple of events there yourself and being a driver in a few, they really go all out and they make sure that they cater for everybody. It's not only for the sort of petrolhead that we love, and of course both of us are, but more importantly, it's to bring in new people to the sport and get them excited about it too. Because, I mean, you don't get a better platform to market your product or whatever your company is than a motorcycle going past you at 200 km an hour or a V8 or a production car, trying to overtake each other into very tight bends and exciting racing.
And you know what? The one thing that gets me, you don't get that amount of value for a whole day's entertainment for what you actually paid to go and watch motorsport. I mean, you're watching single-seaters, you're watching bikes, you're watching tin tops, you're watching V8s, you got young drivers, you got some veteran kind of racing. I mean, it really is the top motorsport circuit category that we got.
Yeah, it's the pinnacle of racing in this country. There's no doubt about it, Sash. And the cool thing, as you said, it's not only the young guns, it's the seasoned campaigners. But you know what? The young guns don't hold back, eh? They've got no respect for the slightly elder statesmen. And I mean, you experienced it, I'm sure, yourself when you were behind the wheel of a car. When you've got a youngster on your tail or you're trying to catch him, there's just no way they're going to give up any room or give you some space to play. And that's, I think, what's so important. It's not like in the UK or in America or, in Europe, where there's single make formulas or one series that goes in races, which is also a cool thing. I'm not knocking it in any way, but it is really lekker to sort of get there and see everything on the same day,
No, well, Greg, you mentioned if there's a young gun on my tail, that's never happened. I'm just trying to chase them, boy. That's all that's happening.
Every now and again there is, I'm sure. They might be lapping you, Sash.
Yeah, no. Well, there we go. It's only if they're lapping me.
So don't feel bad.
It's only if they're lapping me. Tell us some of the things, Greg, besides, all of the great entertainment that's going to be on there. A couple of maybe riders, drivers that we should be watching out for this weekend?
Yeah, of course, man. If you're looking at, let's kick off with the two premier categories, South African Superbikes and, of course, the South African Super Sports, the two motorcycle championships and the production cars. It's been a battle royal in the Superbikes. Literally, Kawasaki versus the BMWs and the Superbikes, and Kawasaki versus the MV Augustas, which, of course, you have a major affiliation towards, I'm sure, being Italian.
Beautiful.
But loving life and having a new manufacturer and a manufacturer that actually went out first time out and put a double victory on the black stuff with Cameron Peterson. So
awesome.
Cam Peterson, Brent Herron, those are the guys to look out for. Lance Isaacs on the Pretoria Toyota Kawasaki team. That's the official Kawasaki team. They'll be pushing hard at the front end of the super sports. In the Superbikes, it's just been mind-blowing. The BMWs taking on the Kawasaki's, it's just been one of the most epic battles we've seen ever. And the likes of Chris Leeson, Ryan Ottens, Nicholas Krobler, and of course the man championship Kinsella, they're going to hold nothing back here this weekend. And then of course moving on to the four-wheel things, production cars, man, it's been car wars, I like to put it that way.
Yeah, brilliant.
Literally almost every manufacturer has had a win. The top 9 drivers have almost every single one of them grabbed the victory. So there's an opportunity for somebody to sort of consolidate or try and consolidate, because heading into round 4 and the championship being so tight, it's just amazing what these guys have been doing. And not only do you get to see your Class A competitors in BMs, Subarus and Audis, but then you move back to Class T, which is the Force Inducted class, and you've got the brand new Ford Focuses, you've got GTIs, you've got the Renault McDonald, Devin Robertson from Big Boss Auto. These guys really, they've got everything to prove and everything to go out for. And that's exactly what they're going to do this weekend.
I tell you, it's great racing, that's for sure. I tell you, the weather we're having up here in Joburg as well, let's hope it lasts for the weekend, because I think that's going to be quite exceptional.
So far, so good. And checking on the weather guides this morning, everything seems to be heading for about a 25 degrees Celsius day at Swartkops on Saturday. So you've got no excuse. Bring the family. Come on down, come and say hi. Come up to the commentary tower. That's the cool thing as well. Come and speak to me. We're on the mic all day. All we get to talk about is the guys running around. If you're there and you want to have a chat, come on up and say how's it. Really, that's what it's all about.
You have been warned, and if you never met Greg, he's a very, very nice guy. Looks like a huge teddy bear.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to work on that, though. I'm really working on it.
No, we like the way you are, Greg.
She does it, though. She says she does.
We like the way you are.
Everyone loves a teddy bear.
You see, Daisy says everyone loves a teddy bear.
The only way to go. No, for sure.
Greg, I look forward.
I hope we're going to see you there.
Yes, I will be there.
I really appreciate it. It's going to be an amazing day. And, if you're there, come on up and let's have a chat, because you guys are doing an amazing job. And hopefully we can make this a sort of an ongoing thing after every Super Series or before every Super Series. I'd really, really like that.
Definitely will do, my friend, and I'll see you on the weekend.
Fantastic, man. All the very best to you guys, and thanks again.
All right, there we go. Greg Maloney, of course, he's going to be doing all the commentary at Swartkops. Do yourself a favor, go and enjoy a full day of motor racing at Swartkops Raceway this weekend. We'll give you some reminders tomorrow as well.
At the next intersection, turn on
Gears with Sasha Martinengo.
weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.